Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. And I want to do that through consistency and discipline. So today we are here to do a budget with me for the paycheck that I will receive on February the 9th. And I'll, I guess, zoom into this picture a little bit more in a moment. So I did want to, did I save money? Did I save money? I did not save money. Okay, so sorry. I had a ADD moment. Anyway, first of all, I'd like to thank anyone who's liked or commented on any of my videos, and for those who have chosen to subscribe to my channel. Truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I understand, recognize, and appreciate the community as a whole. You know, we all have similar goals. We just got different ways of getting there. So if you're rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. So I wanted to take a moment and talk through my budget overall for the month of February. I've had to make some additional adjustments, so I do have a video on where I set out my February monthly overview, and that was really good for me. It helped to clarify some things. You'll see something in my budget that I've not done before, and I am budgeting for additional expenses, and I've never done that before. I usually just budget for bills. I give myself a set amount of money for variable expenses and then just let it work its way out. Either I'm going to be over or I'm going to be under. This time I'm actually budgeting for additional expenses once I've looked at that monthly overview and recognized that there are going to be some areas in there or some things happening or life events that are occurring that I really need to account for. So I think that's what I'll do. What I will do first is show you that for February, I went over monthly goals that I had, many goals that I had that were associated with my my overall 2024 goals, but three in particular I am writing down for the month of February here on the actual calendar, and that's to get to 10 no spend days, because these are all tied to financial goals. So the 10 no spend days is actually listed in my mini goals for February. There's a chorus trip payment that I need to make of $450. I'm not concerned about that one. Corinne's dad is taking care of that trip cost, which is a true blessing. And he's been very consistent with making sure that money is there. And so I think we'll be okay, but I just need to make sure we do it. And then I want to save additional gas for a trip that I have. And so I've already started to do that. I wanted to save up what it would take to actually fill up my tank one additional time for this trip period, and I'm almost there. So those are the goals that I have for financial goals that I have for February. All right, so I'm going to sit this over to the side. This might look familiar. Bring this out. All right, this might look familiar to everyone. This is you guys bear with me. I'm come out just a bit so you can see everything that you need to see on this one. So this is the February overview that I did. And I've been going in and marking off, and it's not very dark. So I'm going to change the color on this. But I have been going through marking off all of the bills as they are paid. I think I marked off electric and it's not paid yet. So I got to go and take a look at that one. All right, so those are all of the things that have already been covered from the paycheck that I received on 1/26. When I worked out this budget on February, there were a few things that I left off. It's going to sound crazy, but bear with me. So number one, I probably need to use a marker instead. Honey, it is Super Bowl, okay? So this might not mean anything to some of you, right? Super Bowl, who cares? What does that have to do with the budget? It has a lot to do with my budget, because we cook for the Super Bowl, or we order out maybe some wings or something for the Super Bowl. Whatever it is an event in my house. I did not have this documented when we went over the February overview. I need to account for that, because that's going to be more money that we're going to spend for groceries. I put Galentine's here because that was a sticker that I had, but Valentine's Day, I didn't put that in. Now, I don't know if I am going to spend money on this day, because I'm going to do a pedicure. I'm going to take my boo for a pedicure on the 20th instead. He works on this Wednesday, and he also lives out of town. And so he's going to come to where I am here, up in here, when I come back from my travel. So I needed to, so let me take a step back. I needed to put in Valentine's Day just in case I want to do something for him, maybe send him a gift card or something. So I needed to account for that. My travel I'm just going to go to South Carolina. So I did share that I was supposed to be taking my mom to visit my brother in North Carolina. And that's when I was going to get to see my niece and nephews. So I was planning on spending additional monies for gas and pulling from my auntie's baby's sinking fund. But my mom has a job here now. So she caters and she makes money, honey. so she's not going to be able to go there, but I am still going to go and visit her. And she's got a program at her church for her kids that she's in charge of, or ministry she's in charge of. So we're going to go there. So I'm still going to South Carolina. Still needed to save for gas. I don't need to worry about pulling from my sinking funds though. And that's going to also lessen the amount of money that we're probably going to use for dining out. So all of that is good. My trash bill did come in. So this trash will be taken out here. I'm going to go ahead and make that payment on the 15th. That was a question that we had as well. So that's been answered. So we're good on that. So I'm going to South Carolina on the 16th, and I'll be there until we're coming back on the 19th. I took 19th, 20th, and the 21st off for vacation. So I had to document that in because of a few things. And I didn't have, this is another thing that I did not have on the original February overview. It's because number one, the 20th. So I did not have this marked off. I'm going to take my boo to get a pedicure. I think I talked about it, but I wasn't sure that I put it on here or not. So I just went ahead and added these little stickers to represent that, because I am going to be paying for that. So I need to make sure I have the money to account for that. My doggy will be back. So you guys may not know, but my dog is a shared custody kind of thing with my boo. He loves my sweets. And so with that, he likes to go there in South Carolina for a while. He comes back to Georgia for a while, etc. So he will be back. He needs to have a grooming session. His groomer, Lily, is already ready for him, and she can't wait. She keeps him all day. They have fun together. They love each other. So he's going to be at the groomers while we're getting our pedicure done. But I did not have any of this in here, so I need to account for the grooming charge for that one. And I don't know if he's going to need a partial groom or a full groom, so we will see. And then here, I did tell my daughter we would go to the movies. Don't know what we're going to go and see. If you guys got any suggestions about good movies to go and see, please leave them in the comments. But again, that's going to be more money that will need to be spent. So I did not have that in there as well on this February overview. These are all things that have been coming to my mind. And every time something comes to my mind, I head straight over here to this calendar and I add it in. This is the best thing since sliced bread. I think I am going to do it for every month because it really is helping me. And then I did get a note a couple of days ago that a friend of mine is going to have a birthday party on the 24th, and I've been invited. So I wanted to make sure I have that in here as well. And although that's not going to be in the middle of the month where a lot of stuff is going to happen, it's going to be here. I probably would want to buy something during this blue period of time, because I get paid again on that Friday and the party is that Saturday. I don't know I'll have time to go and get anything here. So I might have to get it up in here, up in the blue section. All right. So again, what it means is that not only was I over budget from what I typically allocate in my bills account for this paycheck in February 9th, which is the one I'm going to do the budget with me for, but now I've got extra stuff and it's all happening in there. So I needed to account for that. I've already helped myself a lot because, as you notice, I marked off Allie and Discover were paid as a part of the check that I received in January the 26th. That gave me a little bit more breathing room, which is something you'll see on the budget with me. And I needed that because I've got some extra expenses that I need to account for. So this will be the first time I'm actually budgeting for spending in my budget. And I've not really done that before. So there you go. Those are all the things I think I needed to cover that have changed as far as this is concerned. So I'm going to stick it over here to the side while I go through the budget, just so that I have it available and make sure that I'm accounting for all of that. So now we can get into the budget. All right. So as I mentioned before, we've got, we're accounting for February the, go in. There you go. All right. So we are counting for February the 9th through the 22nd. We've got all of the items that are in here. Not all of them. You know, I do have Super Bowl now. I didn't put Mark in Valentine's, and I do need to put here all of the vacation items. So I'd still need to add those in, find some little icons or whatever, added those in. I added in my friend's birthday here. I've got my brunch that I still have on the 10th. And now it says we're going to just visit Mima instead of necessarily going to see my brother as well. So I've got some things in here. Off camera, I will go ahead and add in all of the additional things here. The pedicure party we're going to have. Xerxes' groom. I need to add that here as well. And then the movies here also. I need to add Xerxes' groom for sure. The other stuff is like extra. It's not extra, but it's kind of extra. So I do need to add Xerxes' groom. So let's take that, copy it, paste, and it's kind of big. And I'll change how big that looks in a minute. It's huge. Why is it so big? It's probably because I have it turned the wrong way. I do need to add this one in. So sorry, you guys. I know this is a little outside of the norm for what this needs to be, but I need to get that in there for sure, because that's bigger than some of this other stuff, just because that is something that I consider to be a bill. All right, so we got that added in. That makes me feel a little bit better because I might forget again. All right, so here we go. This is February 9th through the, I did not even check the camera to see if you all could see all of that, but here we are. Hey, real time. This is what it looks like. All right, so this is February 9th through February the 22nd as the dates. And we will start with our income. So for my bills account, I plan on having $11.75 in there. For the variable expense account, I had planned to have in $500. Now, I do my bills and how I do my budgeting a little bit different. A lot of people, they budget first for however many bills that they have, and then whatever's left over is what they use to live on. Well, Monique can't do that. Monique can't do that. So what Monique does is she accounts for, so here I account for exactly how much I want to put towards bills after I have taken out how much I need to live on. I have to have gas. I have to have groceries. I need to have paper towel and toilet tissue. It feels a little different, I know, as far as a budget is concerned, but that's me. So I factor that part out first, and then I figure out what's left. I set a set amount that goes into my bills account, my variable expense account. If it's savings, if it's investment, that's the way that I do it. And that's how much I work with. And so it works out for me. It's a little bit different than I think other people. But that's how I roll. I'm going to turn that light off. So I allotted myself $500 initially for variable expense, $11.75 for bills. And I am going to go ahead and document here that Kim is going to give me, my daughter is going to give me $150. That seems to be how much she's been able to afford to give to me. And so I'm going to work with that and just say that's the amount that we'll see this time as well, so that I can account a little bit more for savings and sinking funds initially, instead of just hoping I have something set aside. Let's go ahead and manifest it and say she's going to give me $150. I can go ahead and count that in and let me set my sinking funds and savings for that. This money will just be used for sinking and savings funds. I won't use it for any variable expenses or anything in my bills account. Okay. So $11.75 plus 500 plus 150 equals $18.25. So that is what I'm working with. Okay. All right, when it comes to expenses, so what you'll notice is that tithes, pet insurance, car insurance, they automatically are deducted before you even see my balance. Mortgage, I'm not going to put anything towards that this time. A lot of times I will try to save $360 the first half of the month, and then I only have $360 to worry about the second half of the month so that I can make the mortgage payments on the first of the next month. That's not going to be possible this time. I don't know how I'm going to adjust to get back to that schedule, but with everything that I have going on in the middle of this month in February, I'm not going to be able to set aside $360. So I'm just going to have to make do with having all of that money paid, the mortgage paid out of the February 23rd check leading into the 1st of March. So don't have it in here. Verizon, $165. Again, we talked about the fact that I already paid Ally and I paid Discover, even though they would have been due in this pay period. I went ahead and took care of them in last pay period. Apple Care, $5. AT&T, yes. Water, AT&T, $90. Water, $25. Trash, $54. I did get the bill for that, and the bill was in my my mailbox. Girl, I ain't been to the mailbox in a long time apparently. So it was there. So it is due now. Bridgecrest, my car payment, $503. Green Sky, $90, and Kohl's, $90. So let's add that up and see where we are. 165, 5, 90, 25, 54, 503. 90 is 1,000. I wrote down 1,024. When did I write that down? And it is wrong. So 1,022. I think I did try to add it up to see where I was going to be. All right. So yes, I did do that because, but why am I at 1,022 and not 1,024? Which one is wrong? 165, 5, 90, 25, 54. 503, 90, 90, 1,022. That's it. All right. And then let's take that out of 1825, 803. That's what I have remaining. All right. Remaining from fixed is 803. All right. So here's where the change is going to happen. I need to allot myself an extra $100. You saw why. I don't have to cover that again. Everything is heavy in that blue section, so I need to give myself a little bit extra money since I set aside $11.75 out of my bills, and I'm only at $10.22. Okay, if you add 100 to that, I had about $100 that I want to take from there, and that still leaves me at $11.22, which is still within the $11.75 frame of how much I typically like to spend on bills. And although I want it to be on bills, and maybe I could make an extra debt payment or something like that, I'm not going to do that. I need that extra money to help me with expenses. So I'm going to take that $100 and I'm going to transfer it over to my variable expense account along with the $500 that I already have going over there. So that means I'm going to have $350 available for week 1 variable expenses, and that would cover the 9th through the 15th, and that would help with Super Bowl only. So remember, week 1 and week 2. Week 1 is the 9th through the 15th. Week 2 is the 16th through the 22nd. I think I need more of the money the 16th through the 22nd. I need more of the money the 16th through the 22nd because I have pedicure. I've already saved for the pedicure, but I got Xerxes Groom. Xerxes Groom needs to be added up here. So this is why I was saying Xerxes Groom is very important, because Xerxes Groom actually needs to be up here. That's a bill. I don't think I'm going to have to pay for Xerxes Groom by myself. Usually, my boo helps me with some of that. Normally, that is going to be on, what day did I say, the 20th? So I saved up for the pedicure, but I did not save up for Xerxes Groom. I have money in a sinking fund. I don't know if I'm going to use some of that or not. All right, so that means $50. I'm just going to say $50. And I'm going to say he's going to help me pay for part of that because he usually does. Oh, man. So I'm going to say $25. I'm going to say $25 of it is for me and $25 of it is for him to pay. So 10, 22 plus 25 equals 1047. All right. 1047 now is the total. Let's subtract that from 1825. And that leaves 778. All right. Next, I want to give myself an extra $100 in my variable expense buffer for this 2-week period. So let's make sure I still have it, and I'm sure I do. So 1047 plus that extra 100 would have been 1147. It's still within the 1175. All right, so I can still pull $100 from the bills account, move it over to variable expense. All right, going back to this, the 9th through the 15th is not really where I need the money. I need a little bit for groceries to cover the food, whatever it is that we do, but I need the bulk of it down here. All right, so I'm going to say I still need $40 for gas week 1. And let's put over here that week 1 is the 9th through the 15th. And week 2 is the 16th through the 22nd. All right, so the week of the 9th through the 15th, I don't need any more for gas, so $40 is enough. I need more for groceries. I usually give myself $130. I'm gonna give myself $160. Spend is still gonna stay at $50. Home is still going to stay at $30. So that's 40 plus 160 plus 50 plus 30 equals $280. So week 1, I'm going to give myself $280 instead of $250. And over here, I'm just going to say that's over budget by $30. I've already used, I had $100 extra that I want to put over here. I just used, and so that probably should be a minus instead of a plus. All right, $30 of it is gone because I usually give myself $250. This time I'm giving myself $280. That's $30 over. I take the $30 from there, and I've got an extra $70 now that I'm working with on week 2. All right, so gas. I'm saving up. I've almost got another tank of gas already saved in my rollover for gas. So for now, I'm going to say 40 because I don't have to go to North Carolina. I'm just going to South Carolina. So my regular 40 here, I'll have 40 in my rollover. That's 2 tanks of gas. That should be enough. Groceries. I don't necessarily need any more money for groceries because, oh yes, I do. Corinna's home. So the reason why I'm taking off these 3 days is because this week she's home for winter break. So let's say $20 more. So I'm going to say groceries is $150. I usually give myself $130. All right, so 70 minus 20, I got $50 extra. So for spend, I usually give myself $50. I'm going to give myself $100. That should help to account for going to the movies and buying a gift, and then buying some extra food while I'm out of town. And then I can leave my home at $30. All right, so that's 40 plus 150 plus 100 plus 30 equals $320. All right, 320 minus the 250 I normally give myself equals 70. So I've used up the other $70. And all of this will go away. I'll erase all of that. So I don't have anything left out of that buffer of $100. And 280 plus 320 should be 600. because I usually give myself 500. Now I'm giving myself 600 for this pay period. Total is 600. 778 minus 600 equals 178. Okay. All right. So I give $178 is what I'm working with over here. I told you I want to make sure I take the $150 that Kim is giving me for my sinking funds and savings challenges. So I want to use $125 for all of the sinking funds, and we'll work that out in a minute. And I'm going to take 25 of that and put it towards the family savings challenges. Anything that I use that I have for general savings and the savings book will come out of rollover from variable expenses this past paycheck period, or the current paycheck period that I'm in. And I won't do anything. I can go ahead and mark this off because I'm not going to do anything for any of the buffers. All right, so this is 25 so far for, and that's all I think it's going to be for. Let's see where it starts. Let's make it bigger. All right, so that's general savings, that total. Okay. All right, how am I going to break out the 125? So Jim's business only gets 5, 10 for gifts, 10 for household, 10 for emergencies. Taxes doesn't get anything. Corinne's dad takes care of hers. So I have 125 minus 5 minus 10 minus 10 minus 10 equals 90. I got $90 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. There's 6 categories that are still remaining. I've got $90. I'm gonna divide it by 6. And that's $15 for each. There you go. Keep it easy for myself. All right. So that's it. And we know that that equals $120, so $25. So that's how that breaks out. And then $25 for savings. So that's the total of $150. So that's $150 that Kim is going to give me. Let's subtract that. 178 minus 150 equals $28. And so I should still be under budget by $28. So we'll circle that. All right, there you go. So I made some adjustments and I'm still under budget by $28, hopefully, and this will work out. But I definitely needed to make sure I gave myself a little bit extra as it related to my variable expenses. And this time I'm actually planning for it. I don't really do that, but that is the benefit of working out my monthly overview. So I think that is it. Now I need to go and let my boo know that he's got to give me $25 for Xerxes groom that he's going to have on the 20th. And then I need to make some adjustments to my financial calendar on here, but I'll do that off camera. So another long video. I'm so sorry. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.